Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Only One Note podcast. Um, to start off, I do have some explaining to do. My sorry, give me a second. But yeah, my to make a long story short, my Thanksgiving trip actually kind of tabbed me out, which kind of also me including paying rent. So, long story short, I couldn't pay my Adobe, so like it wouldn't you know upload to YouTube. But don't worry, I'm working on that. It should be up by like next week at the latest. Well, Monday at the latest, depending on scheduling and shit. But yeah, also give it also I will be uploading the episodes on my Patreon soon, so give that like a week at least. Um, and honestly, I've been actually having a lot of problems, um, with my channel actually. Funding is one thing, but that was a given. Also, my job has been keeping me away, and honestly, I mean, as much as I hate like going to work because of like doing this, actually, I kind of have to. Because here's the thing, I mean, my bills aren't gonna pay themselves, and that's the bitch of it. Like, we have to do things we don't want to do, but we have to. So, before we get actually started, I actually want to point that out. Also, um, I will be going into the theme of actually, I actually fixed my camera, so later on I will be doing some more um filmed videos. But first, I do still have to edit the other videos I did, like several of the unboxings of merch that I got from Passport Hotel and Bell of a Boss. But I will be um I'm still sorry editing those, so I should be able to get them up before the end of the year, hopefully. Also, speaking of Hasbin Hotel, I will actually be doing an sorry for the ums and the stuttering. I mean, usually like it feels like I'm in a hurry, but sorry, I'm on my laptop. Anyway, but yeah, I will be doing reactions to Hasbin Hotel. However, since I have no idea how to do a reaction video, I will be watching tutorials on how to do it. I will be putting out a reaction soon. Hopefully, I want to do it like around my birthday mostly, as in like, hey, I want to like it's coming out of my birthday or whatever. But obviously, it's gonna be pre-recorded the day before, the day of. Actually, actually no. My birthday on December 16th. I'm probably not going to post anything on my birthday. Maybe the day after. So keep that in mind. So let's see what else. So yeah, let's see. I be editing some videos out soon. Also be doing reaction videos, very soon. Um, I gotta pay for Adobe, which should probably be up by next week. Got that out of the way. Sorry, guys. I mean, everything. I mean, has been kind of like stacked on top of each other. It's like I'm doing my to-do list like in one go. I'm trying to sprint instead of jog. But that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, that's actually also I do have a lot of stuff to pay. Honestly, that's why I don't like going on vacations. Actually, like, cause you end up being broke when you come back. You barely have enough funds to pay for stuff. I mean, and honestly, I mean, it's well, obviously it's hard, but that's what being an adult is. Single adult, single. Well, my brother's a single parent, but still though. Sorry guys, I'm so tired. I can try to get enough sleep last night, but so anyway, yeah, that does it for. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get my laptop to work. Honestly, I hate the apartment that I live in right now because here's the thing: you connect to the Wi-Fi, and here's the thing: a lot of people have Wi-Fi, and that thing kind of intersects with each other. I'm not sure how Wi-Fi works, or like if you have one that like. Also, I live like on a hill, so the signal is gonna be a little shitty at best. But I mean, I'm trying to do what I can. So actually, let's see. All right, you know what? Might as well just get to the to some topics right now. Now, here's the thing. Last episode I said stuff about the whole Middle Eastern, Palestine and Israel thing. Um, yeah, I mean, it got worse. I'm just gonna say it just got worse. I mean, how worse can you get by how can it get worse? Well, social media. I had to say it. Social media. And obviously, we're like, what the whole concept. We're under the concept that like, yeah, like if you have something like if you have something to bitch about, complain on the internet. But people abuse that. Because honestly, you can't really win with people who argue this whole thing from both sides. It's in their minds. It's either on our side. It's you're either with us or against us. That's the thing. And no matter who you join, you get canceled or try to get canceled at least. It's like, okay, oh, you support Israel, but you don't like what Israel's doing. Then okay, then maybe you should support Palestine then. Or oh, you go for Israel. Oh, like oh, you support Palestine, right? Oh, you don't agree with what we're saying? All right, fine. Go with the Israelis then, you Jew. And as messed up as that sounded, that's actually the sentiment going on right now. As sad as that is. Sorry guys, my Wi-Fi shitty here. But anyway, sorry guys. Sorry, I'm trying to get the news article. That I'm trying to do the what's have you heard for the have you heard segments. All right. Anyway, but that's for later. But yeah, back to the whole is the Middle Eastern thing. Here's the thing. Now celebrities are putting their insert, and what happened? I mean, it's gone to the point where, um, all right. Here, I mean, you want an example of celebrities being roasted for their support? I'm actually gonna put this out there. Look at Mia Khalifa. Obviously, everybody who's seen porn before knows who she is, or even if you haven't, you know who she is. The whole that one chick who did scenes with a hijab. Maybe you didn't know. Anyway, she got fired from Playboy for supporting Palestine. Okay, that's accept. I mean, um, um, yeah, I guess that's a thing. Also, it's also gone to the film industry though. I forget who the actress was. I'm trying to. Hang on. Sorry, I'm sorry. I had to. Oh, here we go. Here's another actress. I'm not sure. I'm not. I haven't seen the Scream movies. However, actress Melissa Barrera got fired from Scream 7 for her support for Palestine, and because the what she said apparently sounded a little, anti-Semitic, and that's what people are saying. Like, I'm not even joking. Um, hang on, I'm trying to put some stuff out. But yeah, obviously, like, and even though she's like, oh, they're not anti-Semitic, but I mean, the damage has been done. I mean, everyone's like, yeah. I mean, what can you say? You know, honestly, these kind of things happen, and you're thinking, well, why do celebrities have to put their intake on these kind of social, like, world events? Well, they're people too. They're people too. Now, not only that, someone else got caught in the crossfire. Um, Jenna Ortega, who you might know as Wednesday Adams from Wednesday. Yeah, she got in trouble for backing up her friend. For she actually backed up Barrera, and uh, so I'm trying to find like the news story to actually cover this, because I think she actually did get kicked off of Scream 7. Sorry. Uh, Sorry, guys. I know this is well, yeah. Normally, I would be looking up these stories for the "Have you heard" segments, but uh, let's see. Mm, Sorry, guys. Sorry if it's taking a little too long. Apparently, it's through scheduling conflicts, but I think she's just doing it because she's supporting her friends. Her friend, actually. Huh. But yeah, that's basically what I mean. Also, because I feel that's a lot. Because here's the thing: this happened over the Thanksgiving weekend. Actually, no. Actually, I could be reading that wrong. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to improvise this stuff. Mm, mm. But yeah, apparently that's actually what happened. Melissa Vera like said some stuff about the war in Israel, and the things she said sounded a little anti-Semitic. She's like, "Oh no, it didn't. It wasn't that." But people was like, "Yeah, it sounded." And actually, here's the actually this. Hang on, what was? And here's the thing. This is actually what she posted. Like, this is what Barrera like posted when like she got fired. First and foremost, I condemn anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. I condemn hate and prejudice of any kind against any group of people. As a Latina, a proud Mexican, I feel the responsibility of having a platform that allows me the privilege of being heard, and therefore I have tried to use it to raise awareness about issues I care about, and I tend to lead my voice to those in need. Every person on this earth of religion, race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, or socioeconomic status deserves equal human rights, dignity, and of course, freedom. I believe a group of people are not their leadership and that no governing body should be above criticism. I pray day and night for no more deaths, for no more violence, and for peaceful coexistence. I will continue to speak out for those that need it and most, for those that need it most, and continue to advocate for peace and safety for human rights and freedom. Silence is not an option for me. Um, I think it's because it's not that she's being like anti-Semitic. It's like that she's saying that the Israeli military is doing some shady stuff. That's why I condemn their actions. And you have a lot of protests like going on. For example, during the Macy's Day Parade, somebody got a pro-Palestinian protester got arrested, and also and also to point out, Ortega actually liked a pro Instagram post on the 22nd, and she's actually standing with Barrera. As for why she left Scream, it's probably not because of supporting her friend. But here's the thing: when celebrities put their intake on things like issues like these, it's one of those pick your battles kind of things. If you're Jewish and have family in Israel, yeah, you're gonna go for Israel. If you're were raised, as a Muslim, then yeah, you're gonna support Palestine. But for me, I'm still under the impression is just get everyone out of the country, of both areas, and just deplete the place, and just say, there, you happy now? Now it belongs to nobody. If you want to live in there, fine, go for it. But don't ever tell us that we didn't try to, help you guys. Because honestly, I feel like that's like the sentiment for most people right now. It's like we're trying to help you, but yet you can't get it out of each other's way. Like you can't get out of your own way. You can't get out of your own way. Like it's an ego thing. It's like Putin invading Ukraine, and he can't turn back now because it's done. Like he knows that if he pulls out, he's gonna lose. And I feel like this is the sentiment right here. Neither side wants to back down because they're gonna see one side is gonna see the other. It's like, oh, coward, yeah, you should have fought, and they're gonna get shamed. and nobody wants to back down. Like I said, it's an ego thing. But quite frankly, and here's the thing, guys. My opinion is subjective, so take it with a grain of salt if you don't agree with it. But honestly, I'm sick of this shit going on. Like now, like as much as I try to avoid it, it's one of those. All right, I'm just gonna let this thing happen. I'm not gonna voice my opinion anymore. It's like fine, y'all do you. Just shut the fuck up, okay? Because I don't fucking care anymore. Now, you may have misheard me. That doesn't mean, oh, I'm anti Semitic. No, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean, oh, I'm Islamophobic. No. That's not what I mean. It's more on the lines as like it's like I suddenly stopped caring about this. You know? That's how it is with me right now. It's like it's like it's like I'm done with. It's like when somebody's done with somebody's shit. I'm done with your shit. You're on your own. You know, that's how I'm feeling right now with the whole like Hamas and Israel thing. Like I'm done. Like you want to rip each other to shreds anymore? Fine, go for it. Do you want to go on social media and tear each other apart? Fine, go for it. Cause I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, I could care two shits about what anyone like has to say about each side. And here's the thing: if you're posting on somebody's social media, free Palestine or support like Israel, when it's not relevant to the person's post, then get the fuck out of that post. All right. Better yet, get off social media. Because you're just going to attract a lot of haters. People who are going to support you and a lot of haters. There, phrase it like that. I'm just going to keep scrolling. It's like, not my problem anymore. And here's the thing. I know people from both. Okay, I had a coworker who's from Israel. And I have a coworker who, has Muslim ties. Because, it's and here's the thing. I've heard of their sides of the story, but here's the thing. At this point, you're just cramming it down my throat. At this point, and yeah, there's a ceasefire now. How long did that take? And what bothers me the most is, because here's the thing, Biden does have a Twitter account, he does have social media, but he's not like Trump, who is like complains about every little thing. On Instagram, it's under him, and it's under POTUS, President of the U.S. And I feel like the POTUS part is gonna be for any president that comes in, because that's probably why Joe has his own, or why Kamala Harris has her own. Now, every time I look, for example, when Rosalind Carter died, everyone's like, "Oh, you're doing this, but you won't support a ceasefire." I'm like, in my back of my mind, like, dude, shut the fuck up. This is not the place or time. And I try telling people, like, wrong place, wrong time, dude. But I was like, no, we just got to hear this now. It's like, again, it's not relevant to the situation. Also, show some respect, all right? A person just died. I mean, how would you feel if I did that to your family? You know? Oh, free this and that. And you're like, dude, don't do that, man. We're mourning here. Yeah, now you know how it feels. You know? And here's the thing. I can't go on every social media like post I see and says like, oh, it's, or to counteract that. Right? I was like, no. Like, I was like, you're wrong, right? It's this, right? It's that. It's like, yeah, but this and that. Trying to prove people wrong. Here's the thing. It's not my fucking job. And honestly, I don't even know why I do it anymore. It's like commenting like on the who cares post replies where it's like, Well, obviously you care. I mean, you commented. At this point, I'm just gonna comment. It's like, all right, cool, cool, all right, fine, cool story, bro. I'm not gonna say obviously you do. I'm just gonna troll and say, oh, cool story, bro. And if that pisses them off, then fine. I'm like, that's fine. I don't care. I don't care anymore. But then people's like, if you don't care, then what are you doing? It's more like, well, a part of it is like, uh, there's a part of my brain that does it just because, like, what the fuck, Don? I'm just bored. Another part is like, dude, just shut the fuck up, dude. I don't care. Or it's like, and there's another part of my brain that's like, yeah, I'm trying to be like the hero in a sense. But honestly, at this point, I really don't give a shit like about this whole conflict anymore. You want to tear each other like in battle? Fine, blow each other to shit. Blow yourselves out of the earth. You want to tear? Everyone wants to tear each other like online for what side and who's wrong and who's right. Fine, fine. Go like do it. Tear each other to shreds. Cancel each other. But when you ask people who are in the middle, like me, and then like everyone else, and you try like like saying that the other's bad and you all slander each other. At this point, it's like, dude, why? Why do I even care anymore? Like, you guys won't listen to what we have to say, so why do we have to care what you say? And here's the thing. Again, I am neutral in this. I support each side, not because of what they're doing. It's mostly because I understand that Israel doesn't want to be attacked anymore. Palestine just wants their land back. I get it. But you keep forgetting that it's the people in between. Your people are dying and you're not doing anything because y'all having like a dick fighting competition. Fine, if you want to act like children, fine, be children. But don't expect anyone else to give a shit when you hear like a free Palestine or free Israel, like, oh, they did nothing wrong, oh, we did nothing wrong. Just stop, okay? Because you're not gonna get it from me. I mean, at this point, like I said, I just stopped caring. I mean, it's. I mean, why the fuck do you want me to care now? You know, it's like it doesn't make sense. Well, for me at least. And honestly, if you want to shame me for it, it's like, dude, I've already said I don't care anymore. You trying to, convince me and try to prove, oh, you're right, you're wrong, or whatever, or like, oh, you're wrong for me to recite. I'm gonna say, dude, I've already stopped caring because you listen. We gave you our input, and it's not what you like. So it's like, why should we care? You know. Next time, before you slander people or you try guilt shaming people, because I feel a lot of people like from each side who are supporting one side or the other are shaming people. If that's what you're gonna use, then don't even bother because I can actually see through that shit. All right. I've been guilt tripped enough to know what it looks like, and you try to do that or guilt shame, guilt trip, making me look like I'm the villain. Don't even try, because I've people have done it to me, and honestly, I'm gonna see through this shit and say, don't do that. So, yeah, so I mean, to put the line, this, it's about it. I mean, Honestly, if you want to shame me, go for it. I do not give a shit. All right, because I put in my 2 cents in, and you feel like, and you're angry because it's not what you wanted to hear. But here's the thing: I don't say these things because you want to hear them. And here's the thing: it's my opinion, it's my voice, it's my show. I mean, if you're expecting me to agree with you with certain things, then I'm sorry. Then it's probably this isn't the show for you. You know, because what I tell is my truth. Okay, my version, my opinion. There's the key word: opinion. And I'm sorry if you don't like my opinion. If you don't like my opinion, then oh well. What do you want me to do about it? That's just how I feel. And for those who do like agree with me, it's like, all right, cool. Then then you can keep listening. I mean, I even put it out there that like, hey, my stuff is subjective. You may feel something about one thing, but I feel something about the other. So yeah. So to reiterate, I'm done. I'm freaking done because it's like, why the fuck do you want me to care at this point? I mean, I mean, honestly, what's there left to say about it, you know? So, anyway, let's moving on. Give me a second. There we go. Now, I want to go over a little something with you right now. And for those who don't have Spotify, well, actually, what Spotify? Actually, let's see if I can pull mine out. It does this yearly thing called like it's warped year, you know, like like the whole 20, like every year they do this thing where it's like, oh, this is how your podcast did, this is who your listeners were. So you know what? I decided, you know what? Every year when this happens, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a year or a year, a wrapped year thing. So, and then, and if anything, I'll probably do it like in like the first of the month. So, or the beginning of the month. But these episodes are gonna come out like after like a few days. So, yeah, take it as you will. But I will go over some of the wrapped stuff for the year. And all right, let's see. Now, here's and it actually gives me like what my top stuff was, you know? Like for example, I actually have like segment like which of my episodes was, you know, the top episode of the year. And apparently my top episode this year was sorry was yeah top episode was the episode titled "The King and I" (parentheses not really) and moving and stuff, which I believe, if I remember correctly, was the episode. I think that's one like the episode where um I think that's the episode where I talked about Prince Charles being king, you know? Let's see if I can find it. Yeah. It has 14 views. Yeah, it's actually about when King Charles became not prince, he became king. And it's also, and if you look at the synopsis of the episode, it says, also I'm looking for a new place, which I'm still doing, and I'm dealing with some people. So, I mean, again, I recorded this like in May, so if you want to check it out, go for it. So let's see what. So yeah, that was apparently my top episode for this year. So moving on. And here's the thing. And the thing about that episode, even though it has 14 like listens, it got streamed 154 more than any average episode that I've had, which means people actually kind of tuned in for that one. And moving on, and for any of you listeners, I want to thank you because this year 40% of my listeners discovered me this year. Like, not bad though. It's not half, but at least I'm getting new people to listen. I mean, if you found this by mistake and you decided, like, yeah, I'll give it a shot, hey, good for you. I mean, I'm not judging. Let's see. It also says you've been streamed in 3 countries, obviously. With the U.S. being my number one top country. I mean, I do have other countries that I've been being streamed on, and honestly, it's not bad though. Even though my audience is mostly in the U.S., I mean, here's the thing. Even though it's a less of a percent, I do have listeners from Brazil, Hungary, Sweden, and Jordan. And honestly, I mean, hey man, okay, thanks guys. It says 98 and like 99, but 98. Honestly, I'll take it. I'll take it. My other podcast that I do, which I should probably start doing episodes on, especially since I talk Godzilla minus one, I could probably do that on my Godzilla podcast. But I will. Also, speaking of which, I might start doing some of my old podcasts. They're still there, just that I haven't, done any episodes. But anyway, as far as how people are listening to this podcast, 84% on Spotify, 12% on the web browser, and 3% for Spotify for podcasters, which is the same app that I use to, make these episodes, And if you want to know what my demographic is, less than 1% are from people from, like, basically less than 1% are teenagers. 9% of people who listen are between 18 and 22. 15 are between 23 and 27. 75% are from people who listen are 28 to 34, which I'm surprised. People between 35 to 44, nothing. 45 to 59, less than a percent. And anyone who's over 60, nothing. So at least I know who my audience is. 91% of my listeners were male, 8% female, less than 1% were not specified, and I had non-binary people, which is funny because in my other ones I do actually have non-binary people that actually listen to it. But then it's Sailor Moon, but you can make the assumption, oh, that's why. I'm not going to make that assumption. I mean, as much as I want to, but it is what it is. So, anyway, where were we? Besides that, and here's the thing. My listeners, that's actually how, like, the app does it for me. It's like, the Spotify for podcasters, it lists as your listeners. But yeah, basically the top podcast owners were leisure, which is what this channel is about. Well, not channel. What this podcast is about. Comedy and fiction, which honestly, not bad. I mean, not bad. You know what, you're lying. I don't blame you. I mean, I listened to some of these actually. Well, 2 out of the 3. But it's 8, not bad though. It actually says what my listeners listen to. Rap, number 1, 2, pop, and 3, rock. Hey, I like all 3. So hey, cool. Nice. And it's actually my podcast and audience actually grew by 9% actually. My listeners have gone up by 9%. My streams have been gone has gone up by 81% this year, and I gained 66% new followers, and 37% minutes created, which is the how I make these shows. But I feel like that number's gonna be high because I usually since I'm making these episodes like an hour long at least. I feel like I feel like those minutes are gonna go add up more because it went up 40%. All right, cool, not bad. Now, am I on your top 10? Well, for and it lists me as I'm the top 10 podcast for 12 fans. I'm the top 5 for 11 fans. And I am the number 1 podcast for 5 fans. So, to everyone who listened to it, if I'm in your top 10, like top 10, top 5, top whatever, hey, thanks for listening, man. I actually appreciate it, man. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, all I can say is and honestly, guys, I can't say thank you enough. I mean, for a lot of you, some of you really didn't have to listen, but I'm glad you guys took the time to, take a listen. I mean, it's you like what you like, you know. I'm not gonna judge you for that. If you if I'm your number, if you have a podcast in top, if I'm your number 1, hey, cool. If I'm in your top 5, hey, that's fine too. At least, hey, you have other tastes. I'm not gonna take that away from you. You do you. And also, here's another thing that 59% of new fans joined me for the first time this year, which is cool, nice. Hopefully, and here's the thing, the reason I'm telling you these numbers is because here's the thing, if I start small and I start to build an audience, at least I can see where my progress is going. And that's the thing, it's not about how many oh they got this many listens. It's more how what's my audience right now, because right now I'm listening to just the tens and the tens. I don't mind if it gets to the hundreds. Oh, cool. I mean, that's nice. If I get to the single thousands, fine. The tens of thousands, cool, even better. Hundreds of thousands, hey, I got my audience. And here's the thing, I don't care if I don't make it to a million, people listening, or I don't care if I don't get 1,000 listens per episode. Hey, I just like doing this. I'm not doing it for for the fame. And I was I want to be famous. Come on. I'm trying to be real here. We all can't get what we want. But yeah, for those 59%, hey, thank you guys for joining me for the first time. And if you stuck around, hey, cool. So yeah, it just gives me a recap of the top 10, top 5, and top. But that's yeah. That's all. That's all it has to say. But honestly, I'm glad that you joined me on this journey. Cause honestly, it's been fun, and I hope to grow my audience. Hopefully, by the next year or two, I can probably get at least a couple hundred, at least 100 listens per episode. Cause hey, it'd be nice, honestly. Cause and also for those wondering why you don't hear ads anymore, it's because apparently they changed the requirements. You have to have at least 600 listens in the next 2 months, which I feel it's a little excessive, but honestly, I mean, I can see why. It's oh, if everyone does it, then it's meaningless, you know. And I get it. I get it. You know, I can see what you're trying. I can see what you're doing. What you're doing. I mean, it's what it is. You know. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, cause here's the thing. I've made money with this. It's just that it's not enough though. It's not like, oh, you made a little money here. It's not like enough for me to live on. And also, it's not enough that it won't let me take it out because it's like, oh, you need to make this much before you can cash out. And it's not even like $10, you know. But hey, it is what it is. So with that out of the way, let's move on to everybody's favorite segment. And also, guys, I feel like here's the thing. You know what? I'm just gonna get into it. So it is time for that part of the show. My favorite segment, if I'm being honest, is Have You Heard? Now, for this segment, I actually found two stories I found very, very interesting. Um, the first one, I actually wanted to talk to you about because this actually come up. This actually, it's one of those you had one job moments, you know. So, without being said, and this is actually the one that actually this actually cracked me up. This is actually the one that stuck with me the most. The second one, I probably won't get into it a lot, but I'll do my best on that one. So, have you heard Iowa lottery mistakenly posts wrong numbers, but winners who've already cashed in, but yeah, I mean, right there, Iowa lottery mistakenly posts wrong numbers, and then it has a highlight. It's hyphenated, where it's like, but winners who already cashed in can keep money. Apparently, this is what happened. Like, even the commissioner even like corrected the error, he blamed it on redundant reporting procedures that had failed after the drawing. I mean, honestly, dude, I mean, the Iowa lottery posted the wrong Powerball numbers on Monday, making loser winners. If And here's the thing, they didn't realize this until like the next day, and they're like, "Ah, oh, shit." And here's the thing, what's funny is that two people have already won that have won, and I remember because I think one of them was for like 50 grand. It says. It says, as part of the Iowa lottery's procedures, two different people in two different locations both entered the results from the lotto drawings before they are officially recorded on the lottery statewide gaming system. But when the winning numbers from Monday's Powerball drawings were inputted, some of the members were mistakenly entered incorrectly. So, yeah, how do you screw up the lottery numbers? I mean, you're the one who's giving out the money. You know? In another statement, they said it takes time to correct an error like that on the lottery statewide gaming system, which links all lottery terminals and self-service kiosks in the state. Lottery staff were able to complete the corrections by Tuesday. However, it also says, but the winners, in quotes, but the winners, end quote, let me phrase it, the quote unquote winners who bought their hit the jackpot on their initial numbers, but were able to cash their tickets over a period within 7 hours, from 12:30 to 7 a.m. to 7:15 a.m. Those prizes range from $4 to $200 with the new agency reporting. And here's the thing. They also said that here's the thing. Basically, it's like it's an error on our part, but you know, it's been. I mean, keep the money. You know. After noticing the error, officials suspended the results for the Powerball drawing on lottery terminals until the lottery was able to rectify the error on Tuesday. Lottery records show that a total of actually no, I was wrong. It wasn't $50,000, but it says that a total of 3,998 and Powerball plays purchased in Iowa ultimately won prizes ranging from $4 up to $200 for a total of $24,382 in winnings. Wow. they even issued a statement saying, well, they even offered an apology saying, we at the Iowa Lottery sincerely apologize for the interruption. Lottery officials said this in a news release. I don't know why I'm reading this, but anyway, the lottery staffers will continue to review drawing procedures with an eye toward improvement in the future. The real numbers actually were these. And by the way, this has already been announced, so if we're listening out there and you hear these numbers, then hey, cash it in. You might win something. But the real numbers were 2, 21, 38, 61, 66. And the Powerball is 12. With the jackpot estimated to be $355 million. So, there you go. I'm like, yo, how do you mess that up? And here's the thing. All that money that the people win is from the people who buy tickets. So you pay $1, $2, a couple, or $10 in lottery tickets, and I mean that's where all the money goes. And if you don't win, that's where all the money goes. It goes to them, and they hold them like until somebody wins it. You know, you're paying for free money basically. You're paying like, let's say you're paying $10 and you win $100,000. Hey, it's like change at this point, you know. But seriously, I mean, it's not like Vegas though, where if like here's the thing that it's the reason I bring up Vegas, other than the fact that I went there on Thanksgiving, is the fact that casinos are really stingy when it comes to that kind of stuff. And since like the majority of like slot machines are now electronic and digital, they have a sign that says malfunctions to game voids any winnings. Like for example, if you win $10,000 or $100,000 and the machine glitches and dies, it's voided. You don't win it. And there have been cases where like they said like, oh, the machine malfunctioned, that's why you won. Here's the thing. If it happens 1 in a million times, or like every couple of million times, like 1 in 5 million, then hey, and if you get like, I don't know, 10 million like, or 20 million yearly in Vegas, and somebody scores it big, those are some pretty. I mean, what are the odds? They have less than 1% of a chance of winning an actual jackpot. So I don't know why casinos are like bitching about this. And not only that, when you take your winnings, they kind of screw you over, because house takes most of that. I heard they take a quarter of what you win, which is like, then why even gamble if I'm just gonna? I mean, in the sense, if I win $1,000, they're gonna take $250. I just get $750. And if they wanted to be stingy about it, they could have just kept like Like they could have just left you with half of that. And it's like I started with 100, and I made 10 times more than that than what I started, and now it's just 5 times what I started. And it's like it is what it is, man. I mean, you want the pinnacle of greed. I mean, Vegas is like, you know, I don't know. It's called a sin city for a reason because it's got all the sins there. It's got envy. It's got lust. It's got greed. It's got pride. Somehow, wrath, gluttony, sloth. I mean, you want the Sally Devin sins there? Then Vegas is the place for you if you indulge in one of those. But hey, it is what it is. Yeah. Yeah. Also, when I said $50,000, I like, oh, I thought somebody actually did one, but no, it's a nah, my mistake. So yeah. Also, about a couple months ago, somebody won. I think this one with the $1 billion jackpot was going around. Somebody actually bought a ticket from the 7-Eleven, like that's down the street from where I live. I don't think they picked it up yet. And they said they have 90 days to pick it up or it's gone. So, hey, if you want it, and also I live in California, Southern California. So it's like, hey, if you want it, hey, claim it, man. That's $1 million right there. And honestly, if you don't pick it up, then it's like, well, sorry. And like, and you get it like on the day 91, it's like, oh, I found it. It's like, yeah, sorry, dude. Yeah, you kind of lost it. I mean, here's the thing. I would love that. And that would explain why there was a news van. Um, yeah, that actually explains why there was a news van like near that 7-Eleven while I was going to work one day. So, yeah. So, yeah, anyway, moving on. All right, for our next story, this one you might want to buckle up because I'm going to be reading this. So, have you heard part 2? Ron Jeremy's alleged victims share fury acceptance after the latest twist in court case. Now, for those who don't know who Ron Jeremy is, um, um, let's see. How do I say that without being gross? He's a porn star. So yeah, Ron Jeremy is a porn star who started like in the late 70s, 80 early 80s, and has been in dozens, hundreds, if not thousands, like hundreds of hundreds and hundreds of adult films or porn, if you want to be more like blunt about it. Now, anyway, God damn it, I hate when these ads pop up. Anyway, this guy has anyway. Now, here's the thing about this guy. This guy, obviously, he's a legend in the industry, but every legend does have their own controversies, and Ron Jeremy is no stranger to these things because I'm not sure if anyone follows the AVN award, but I think he got banned for like fondling a few people, and here's the thing. And here's the thing, because now a bunch of former stars in the business, because I think Alana Evans, I think she works in porn, but anyway, let's see. And okay, you know what? I'll read this. So when Alana Evans found out Ron Jeremy's briefcase would end up with him being released to a private residence, she felt it left her emotionally drained and completely drained. A longtime film entertainer and president of the Adult Performing Artists Guild, Evans testified before the LA County Grand Jury that indicted Jeremy on more than 30 counts of sexual assault in 2021 and spent years working with women in the porn industry who decided to speak out against one of its most legendary figures. So basically, they're basically Weinstein. They're doing a Harvey Weinstein on him. Basically, that's what I'm getting out of this. This is another Harvey Weinstein situation, but in porn. Anyway, it was unlikely Jeremy would ever stand trial after a court declared him mentally incompetent in January because of symptoms related to severe dementia. Well, quote unquote severe dementia. But Evans said Friday's news felt more like a final knife twist. And she says, I feel betrayed because at no point along the way during the path of Ron is suffering from dementia and the incompetence issue coming up, never did they say he would be sent home. It was always he'll go to a facility, Evans said. We all came forward, we told our stories, we all put this effort into the case, and I felt 100% let down by the system. A judge's decision to order Jeremy released into private care last week seemingly ended the 4-year legal saga that saw dozens of women accuse America's most famous porn star of rape after he was arrested on sexual charges in 2020. Now, for the record, an earlier version of this story said Jeremy was accused of assaulting a minor at a Santa Clarita house party. Jeremy was indicted on a charge of committing a lewd act with a 15-year-old, but the alleged assault at the house party involved a different victim. Because here's the thing, these accusations came from sex workers who knew Jeremy, and they knew him for decades. And patrons of Sunset Strip bars whom Jeremy alleged attacked at random. In one instance, prosecutors said Jeremy allegedly assaulted a 15-year-old girl. Jeremy has denied all wrongdoing. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna read this, and I'm gonna give my inputs on this. The 70-year-old's fitness to stand trial has been in question since last March, when Jeremy's criminal defense attorney walked into a downtown LA courtroom and insisted his client did not recognize him. News that Jeremy will now be released to a facility that may not even have security has roiled many of the women who made the decision to speak out against his alleged abuse on porn sets and at the industry parties, dating back nearly 30 years. So here's the thing. This guy has been doing this shit for a long, long time. Since the 90s. Because here's the thing. I'm 31. I'm going to turn 32. So he's been doing this for a long time. I'm like, if I met this guy and I found out he did this throughout most of my life, I'm like, dude, what the fuck? So Weinstein and Bill Cosby. I'll just go with that. That reference. Anyway, after the public discord, prosecutors filed a motion asking a judge to reconsider Jeremy's placement, according to Tiffany Blacknell, Director of Communications for LA County's District Attorney's Office. That hearing will take place on Thursday. Again, this is already happened, so I'm just reading the news. Don't at me. I am profoundly disturbed by the release of Ron Jeremy, who is accountable for serial rapes based on the grounds of deteriorating dementia. I think this is the DA saying this. While recognizing the importance of addressing health issues, it is crucial for the justice system to balance the rights of the accused with the safety of the community. Leanne Young, who first accused Jeremy of assault in 2020, interviewed with the Times, said in a statement. So yeah, this is someone else saying this. Sorry, my bad. Anyway, it is also said, and this this person Young also said that this situation underscores the need for careful consideration of public safety concerns. She added, as well as a thorough evaluation of legal and ethical implications surrounding the release of individuals facing serious criminal charges. Court records show Jeremy's health declined to the point that he placed under the care of a conservator in March. In court on November 17, attorneys advocating for Jeremy argued that he is now essentially bedridden and no longer a threat to the public, according to an email obtained by the Times. So yeah, yeah. By the way, guys, I'm reading this off the LA Times, so that's why I said the Times. Jeremy has been held in the medical wing of the Twin Towers Correctional Facility in downtown LA since January. Despite the abuse allegations made against him, he has not been convicted of a crime. He is unlikely to recover from his dementia and be restored to competency, according to court records, meaning he cannot be housed in a state hospital. That left his conservator to seek to have him housed in a private medical facility with a secure perimeter dementia ward. In that ward, sorry guys. According to a filing submitted to the mental health court in August, as of July, however, nine such facilities refused to take Jeremy as a patient. A Ventura County facility did consider caring for Jeremy, but was ultimately rejected and break show. The court filings did not state a reason for the failures decision. Jeremy's conservator declined to speak with the LA Times. The LA County DA's office opposed the judge's decision last week to release Jeremy, expressing concern that he might try to assault caregivers. But a judge in the Hollywood Mental Health Court overruled the prosecutor's objection. It remains unclear where Jeremy will be housed. The DA's office referred questions to an attorney for Jeremy's conservator, who did not return a call seeking comment. Some of those who worked hardest to bring Jeremy to justice, however, said it was time to move on. Ginger Banks, a performer and sex worker, a sex worker advocate who compiled more than 100 accusations of groping and assault against Jeremy in 2017. That's actually why he got kicked out of the AVN. That's why he can no longer host them, because I was going to get to that. Believes he's too sick to do any more damage. I really don't think that... I think that's what she... Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Banks said, I don't think he has the mental capacity or the physical capacity to hurt anybody right now. And I think the point of our justice system should be to prevent people from hurting other people until they are rehabilitated, she said. Banks, who says Jeremy groped her the first time they met, believes he has been convicted in the court of public opinion, and is hopeful fallout of the broader #MeToo movement will lead women to continue speaking out against alleged abuse. We've seen a complete change in society about women coming forward about this. I think the societal shift is going to outweigh this one court decision, Banks said. Young echoed those statements, saying victims need to continue coming forward even when the legal system doesn't produce the outcome they hope for. Reporting a sexual assault can lead to increased awareness, support, and resources for survivors, he said. It is my sincere hope that despite my experience, survivors will find the strength to share their stories and seek justice. But Evans, the girl who said this, who I mentioned at the beginning, said she believes Jeremy got away with it. Dozens of assaults, and that the end results of the court case will only embolden his defenders within the adult film industry. A number of actors and producers, including some Evans' counts as friends, still believe Jeremy is innocent. The lack of conviction, she fears, will only further discourage adult entertainers from calling out abusive behavior in their industry. They absolutely think that this absolves them, and that is the most alarming part. That says presidents, this sets a tone that it's okay for this behavior. In 2017, after a Rolling Stone article, which first brought the allegations against Jeremy into the public eye, Evans said she was invited to lunch by Jeremy and the producers of several films she worked on. They were hoping she'd use her position as the head of the union, representing the majority of adult performers, to speak out on Jeremy's behalf. Evans was stunned. Jeremy had alleged assaulted her in 2008, running his hand off her skirt. And she confronted him about this before. It was as if he didn't remember or didn't care, she said. I felt his hand, that disgustingness does not ever go away, she said, adding that she is skeptical that Jeremy is truly as sick as his advocates claim. An official with direct knowledge of Jeremy's health, who spoke to the Times, said on the condition of anonymity in order to discuss his mental conditions candidly. Insisted the disgraced porn king will not be enjoying himself wherever he ends up, saying it's not like he's going to be living his best life. He has no idea what's going on, the official said. He's going to be a prisoner in his own body. Now, I'm sorry that took so long, but I did have to read it. Now, this is the thing that bothers me about, this kind of thing. The Me Too thing, I feel that some women are abusing it. And it's mostly on the basis like, oh, he ruined my career because he didn't give me a role or he didn't do this and that. For those women who are only mad because you didn't get what you want, should be ashamed, because it actually, you're taking away something, and that's why most men don't believe that. That's why most people don't believe that. Like, oh, she's faking. And where you have these people who were actually assaulted, sounds like, and I'm actually seen some videos like they're hurting the movement. They're just milking it. They just want compensation. They just want money. We want justice. Now, here's the thing. The sex industry, which, yes, does count stripping. Here's the thing. Sorry, I forgot where I was going. Yeah, there's dangers to that, I mean, if you're a stripper, you're going to have guys who are going to touch you when it's like, don't touch me. And sometimes they are going to get handsy, and they sometimes may get a little, violent. And here's the thing. You have, like, male coworkers who, like, for example, some of the bouncers might come into you and grope you. And here's the thing. And here's the thing. In your mind, it's like, okay, I kind of expected this was going to happen. I knew some people were going to touch me, but here's the thing. I expected it from, customers, but from my own staff, that cannot fly. Here's the thing. I'm not sure if this is gonna count for anything, but I might as well just bring it up. Here's the thing. I had a thing for a girl, and I didn't know how to express myself about saying how my feelings were about this person. But my dumbass took it to social media. I went on my podcast and I said, oh, this and that. And I'm not, and here's the thing, it wasn't threatening, it wasn't this is bad, but she saw it and it's like, yo, dude, no, dude, you basically sexualized me. And then here's the thing, I was reported at work, and I got a warning for that. I was written up. And ever since then, And here's the thing. And ever since then, she's been avoiding me at work. It wasn't until I left, but like, you know what? And here's the thing. I was actually gonna tell her like, look, sorry about this, but here's the thing. Obviously, word is coming from that. But even when I tried to, like, she's not even there. Um, I mean, I could message her, but then she's gonna say, like, dude, just stop. Like, at this point, you're just stalking me. Here's the thing. For me, my initial response at the time when this all blew over, it's like, okay, and here's the thing. This is my sentiment. It was, look, if you here's the thing, if you're gonna talk, well, fine, I get it. Like, I'm sorry you felt this way, but here's the thing: that does not give you the right to shame me in front of other people. Okay? Because if you tell how I am to other people, without even letting them know me, it's bad because it's like, oh, this guy's a creep, and even if and here's the thing: you tell the new people, oh, he's a creep, then they're gonna think I'm a creep. And sometimes that's why like I have trouble apologizing to people because they tell people, and it makes me look like the villain. And that's why sometimes like I'm afraid to even apologize to people or Matt and own up to it because they're not gonna accept it. But here's the thing: here's the thing: I moved on, and I do plan on telling you, look, I'm sorry about this. Just forget it and move on. If she doesn't accept it, then hey, it doesn't matter. I did what I did. It's not something. It's not something I'm doing like to make myself feel better. It's more one of those like, look, here's the thing. I don't want this thing. It's one of those I don't want it to linger kind of things because it gets blown out of proportion, and I don't like it when things get blown out of proportion because it sets you up to be like the villain for the rest of your life, or it makes you look like a bad person. And honestly, I kind of don't want that in my life. And I want kids soon, and I don't want my kids to be like, oh, that's a creep. No, I don't want them to think that. And sorry about that off tangent, but it's a similar, well, not kind of similar. It's close to what it is. But here's the thing. Ron Jeremy, he's actually groped people before. And here's the thing. Porn is a big business. It's like $1 billion dollar industry. They make billions a year. But from people that pay for their channels, buy videos, buy their merch. The sex industry it's making bank. And women usually get the top billing because it's like, ugh, I'm not gonna ugh. Who cares about the dudes, I mean, some dudes have made it. I mean, Jeremy has. I mean, he's been in the business for 30 years. But here's the thing. The thing that bothers me about, sex workers being, doing this kind of, being, the women. They're, they're, I wouldn't say the most vulnerable, but they get targeted the most, And not only that, another porn star, James Dean. No, not that one. Not the dead one. But yeah, there's a porn star named James Dean. Apparently, he was accused of sexual assault. Honestly, I'm not sure if that's still going on or not. But here's the thing. And what's bothers me is that a lot of people who saw this wave it off as like, nope, I didn't see anything, or nah, that didn't happen. She's lying. And that's the thing about this industry. That industry is that people will go on each side. Like, it's more of the people who I think it's like a branding thing. Okay, he's the face of our brand. If he gets accused of this, then our brand goes down. I feel like this is actually why some performers and some crew are signing with them. But on the other side, you have the people who's like, yo, this guy's been doing it for years. And here's the thing. There's dozens of these. So it can't be just one person saying this. And I agree. And here's the thing. Alright? If I was a dad and if I had a teenage daughter and he did it to my daughter and he's getting away with it, I'd be super pissed too. It's like, yo, this guy violated my child, and now you're telling me he's too old to stand trial because he has dementia? And here's the thing: normally, I would hate when people play the whole insanity card. And because here's the thing, that part I hate it so much because if it took you this long to plead insanity, I'm not buying it. Because if you kept doing it, that means you were aware of your actions. That doesn't make you insane. And also, even if your diagnosis is insane, that doesn't mean you just kill people and say, "Oh, guilty of insanity." No, that is never okay. You still committed a crime multiple times. That does not say, "Oh, I'm insane." But here's the thing: he is in his 70s, so I do understand that dementia will come into play with this. Here's the thing: I don't know if that's true, or like if he actually has dementia. I'm not a freaking doctor. I'm not his doctor, so I wouldn't know. Is he faking? Probably, but I have no proof that he's faking it. So it's one of those. It's one of those. Okay, he has dementia, or he's faking it. And here's the thing: that's the issue. Like you can't say like, oh, he's playing the dementia card to get out of it, because here's the thing: we don't know what his life's been up to. Like we never. Here's the thing: honestly, he's not the kind of guy I would like. Hey, Ron, how are you doing? I'm like, oh, you got dementia? Oh, that sucks. Here's the thing: if I was friends with him, hypothetically, and he told me that, I was like, yeah, he does have dementia. And I was like, it just sucks now. I mean, and it says he's bedridden. And here's the thing: there are some of those stars that said, "Oh, okay, all right, he did." Like, it's the sentiment of like, "Oh, he assaulted me," but he's old now, so he really can't harm anyone anymore. Well, the others are like, "Are you kidding me?" Just because he's old and can't do anything anymore doesn't mean he still has to pay for what he did, regardless of the fact, you know. And here's how like it all boils down to, you know. It boils down to what you believe, both internally and externally. Internally is like, externally is like sad, like, why? This solved nothing. I want justice for this. I want this guy in jail now. The versus like, okay, I know what he did was wrong, but what do I do, you know? And I feel like, and here's the thing, I feel like there's a lot more people who like both men and, well, actually, since it's mostly women, I feel like a lot more like actresses are gonna come on and say, yeah, we did it. But here's the thing: how do you know that all of these are legitimate? You know, and that's where the division starts from. It's like, what do you really know about this whole situation? You know, were you there? If it's just two people, and you're taking the word of someone else, how do you believe to know if they're trying? Like, how do you know like if they're lying or not? It's basically a he said she said thing, and they're going like, if people are split, people are going with she said, and a lot of people are going with what he said. Who do you believe? What do you know what's right? Is it a money thing that they're protecting Jeremy for this? Probably, but who knows? But here's the thing: the guy's in his 70s, and if he's like, and if his health sucks, then yeah, it's true. He really can't do anything anymore. But for those who are speaking externally are saying, I want this guy in jail. I don't care if, here's the thing: I don't care if you give him 20. I don't care if you give him 15 years. The guy's probably not gonna make it for past 10. If that's how you feel, then fine. I don't care what sentence he gets as long as he pays for those crimes. He still committed a crime, whether he says he did it or not. And here's the thing: this guy's saying, for some, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. But if multiple people are saying it, then it's kind of change your story there, buddy. Because if it's happened multiple times, you can't deny saying, "Oh, I never met this woman before. Oh, I don't know her. Oh, she's out of her mind." You really can't say that. There's multiple accusations against you. It's a bad look for you. It's bad for your image, and honestly, it's not something you wanna, have hang over your head. I mean, here's the thing: Bill Cosby, hey, they found him guilty. Hey, at least the justice system did its part there. But for these women, they feel like, you know, it's not enough. I want this guy put away. That's it. I don't want any money. I don't want publicity. I just want this man to go to jail. Period. I don't care if he's there for 10 years. I don't care if he's there for 5 years, 10 years, or the rest of his life. I don't care. This guy has to pay. And yeah, guys, and sorry, guys, this is one of these things that I'm really heated up about. Anyway, I mean, but it's true. I mean, the sex industry is a very, very dangerous place. I mean, you got not only that, you got drugs, you got violence, you. I mean, that's why so many of them end up actually being homeless. Some of the female ones actually end up being homeless. I mean, for example, one of them, there's a couple that died, like in the early 2000s. A few of them died by drug overdoses. Some of them have been murdered. A couple of them actually committed suicide, which is kind of sad. And some of them, died from AIDS because it happens. That's why that's why some girls who do it. It's like, and for anyone, and I'm not advocating for you to do it, and for anyone who wants to do that, go for it. It's your life. Once you turn 18, yeah, you can do whatever you want. You're an adult now. But here's the thing: if you go into that business, be careful. And I'm talking to the women about this. Also, guys. But anyone who wants to do it. But so anyway, be careful. Because this business is one of those you gotta do what you can to survive kind of things. And if you're willing to put everything out on the line, if you're willing to sacrifice your image, your whole life for this, and if you strongly feel like you want to do this, do it. But the minute you start having second thoughts, like saying maybe this shouldn't be a good idea, then you can leave. If you get fondled or groped, report it. I feel like there should be security at these sets to protect both the actors, not just from outside interference, but from the other actors themselves, because you don't know how people are when they're alone. And if you have a security guard that said, yeah, he did this, then you can take his word for it, because at least he tried to break it up. And if you try to break it up and they've got physical between the two men, hey, when it came to blows, then it's he tried to punch me, but I knocked him out. Because he tried to grope this girl. He tried to, molest her. Then I would believe that. But don't stand there and say, oh, he's innocent. Because honestly, it's not a good look for you. But for those who want to do, who actually want to do it, tread lightly. Okay? Because based on what I've heard, this is an industry that's unforgiving to its stars. I mean, some of them end up being homeless, and some of them, die from overdoses. Like there's this one star who was popular for a couple of years, and then she ended up overdosing in a van, in an RV. I mean, or you have one that's living in the sewers of Las Vegas. Yes, there are sewer people in Las Vegas, the homeless. I mean, they're just. I've seen the documentaries, and some of them and there is a porn star that's living there. I mean that's just how it is. It's an unforgiving business, and And if you have the mentality to go through with it, go for it. But here's the thing. I'm just gonna say this right off the bat. Again, I've never done it, but I've heard stories, and they always say it's not for the faint of heart. I mean, what do you expect? And with that, that does it for this week's episode. Sorry it took so long. I did kind of have to read a little bit of it, but yeah, that does it for this week's episode. As when this episode is gonna be coming out, I'm not sure. Probably by next week. I'm gonna try getting all my editing and uploading done during the weekend, so by Monday I can start releasing these. I know a lot of you are wondering like, oh, why isn't some like his stuff on YouTube yet? It is, but again, my my Adobe, I had to pay the Adobe, so yeah, sorry guys, that's on me. That's on me, guys. So, with that being said, um, yeah. Yeah, like that's all right. So yeah, basically that's it for this week's show. I'll see you guys. Thanks for listening, and also like, also before I go, I do have to. Sorry if I'm making this too long, but I have to bring this up. But I will be putting out like videos on my YouTube channel. So, but if you're wondering what's the name of the channel, it's the name of the podcast as well. I mean, I feel like, you know what, I don't want to name it something else. Might as well just keep it like, together. So yeah, check out the Only One Little channel for the first episode, and hopefully I'll be putting out the second one soon. So also my first reaction channel should be coming around mid-December, probably between Christmas and New Year. Again, I have to work these kinks out, because I'm still like, I'm hoping my camera would not like, glitch out on me, because like I kind of fixed it, but I'm not sure how good it's gonna be. So like I said, I'll be able to watch out for that. So like I said, yeah, this does it for this week's episode, guys. Thank you guys for listening, and again, I'm grateful for you guys as I'm listening to it. I mean, I really am. I'm hopefully next year, like, things will be different. Like, I can actually get more support. But like I said, one step at a time. So, oh shit. Didn't say my final thoughts yet. So, what's there to say? Oh yeah. This week, there's a point where a conflict, world events test us on who we really are. And there is a point when enough is enough, and you have to say, you know what, just move on. The news isn't exactly what we want it to be, but it's the news. It just happens. We can't control what other people do. Other people are going to do what people do for their own reasons. And for the people who agree, fine, you're entitled to that opinion. People who don't, you're entitled to that. But when it comes to attacking the people who aren't decisive, you're really not making your case. Just accept people for their opinion, not because they don't agree with you. If they don't agree with you, it's fine. Not everyone has to agree with each other. Also, another final word comment that I like to say is, do your job. Do your freaking job, right? It's like, come on, guys. And also, on the softer side and lighter side on this, hey, people make mistakes. Can't help it. Mistakes happen. But hey, just take what you can get. Just take what you get out of this, and and move on. Move on. Also, justice, the justice system is a very complicated thing. Sometimes you may not get what you want. Sometimes you get what you, sometimes you can get what you hope for, but you can't always get what you want. It takes time, and hopefully within time, things will be settled. It's not at the pace that we want it to, succeed, but be patient because at some point you will get justice for the wrongs, and your wrongs will be righted. Even if that right may not sit well with you, but at least you have the knowledge that hey, somebody did something wrong and they paid for it. That's all that matters right now. Let's just let it run its course. Sometimes justice doesn't get delivered to us the way we hope, but when it does, and even if it's just a small victory, take it because in life we're afforded few victories. They may not be much, but we do have them. So, with that being said, again, guys, like I said, thank you guys for listening to the podcast. And as always, I'll see you guys later. This is Jose signing off, and this has been the podcast. Peace.